Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My name is Ashraf Kuba. I'm the Administrative Secretary, Education Department, Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. With me is Sheikh Juma Pakit Chuchu, who is the Minister of Education, Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. Today, we are going to discuss about education system in Uganda. Let's go straight forward. Sheikh, what is the definition of education in your views?
I don't know. But for me, let me begin by, because now very many people have different definitions of what education is.
Yes.
And that is what makes education. But let me begin by the type of definition given by an African professor and that one given by a European professor, and we see the difference. I got a definition from a man called James Majasan of the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. He defined education as an art of learning. That is Masaja 1967. Then Lane, this is a European, of 1996, in his book, in page 1, he says, he defines education as a transmission of wisdom, knowledge, experience, and skills. So you can see the two differences. This one says it is the African says the art of learning. So once you learn, when you have knowledge, that is education.
Yes.
But for this one, he went beyond that. He said transmission of wisdom, knowledge, experience, and skills. Do you see? So education is a progressive development of cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domain for areas. That's how the education is. It is the means by which human beings address their challenges. You know, there are so many challenges around us. These challenges are either a natural disaster or they are man-made problems. So how do you solve this problem? You need knowledge to solve this problem. That's what forms what education is. So education, in other words, to me, it is when you are liberated from problems. What makes it education is when you learn from the problems and you are able to overcome and solve a problem. The moment you reach a level of solving a problem, you are educated. But knowing the problem alone, you are not educated. Yes? Knowing problem, you are not educated. Yes.
And Sheikh, how does education or our education system in Uganda help in solving the problems or the challenges that we are facing now today in our education system?
We have not yet reached the level of solving a problem. That's why you see our first definition there. Ours is learning. You are in P1, you are learning. You are in O level, you are learning. You go to A level, you are learning. You go to university, you are learning. There is no time you can now start to solve a problem. Now, what are the problems? Let me give you an example. For example, we have those who have made medical facilities, those who have come up with the medical facilities. You see, you have microscope to check onto the diseases of people. You have theater where you can operate. You have things like gadgets like X-rays. You understand? All these are developed, they are manufactured in order to solve a health problem. Now, our universities cannot manufacture these things. They can't manufacture microscope. They can't manufacture X-rays. They cannot manufacture. There's this time now, there is when a mother has is developing, the womb is developing, there is that machine you put onto the stomach of the mother, you can be able to see what is there. We don't have ability to develop these machines. We can only buy them from those who develop it, which means that we cannot solve the health problem. That's number one. Number two, solving the issue of security. Our government we have the firearm. We have the firearm in our arsenals. You can see the policemen, the soldiers moving with the guns, but they don't manufacture them. Which means our education system has not reached that level of solving a problem. That's why our government can buy it. You can buy from Yugoslavia, you can buy from Russia, you can buy from America, from China, but China cannot buy from here. You cannot manufacture. We are not solving that problem. Agriculture. In Uganda, Agric is an optional subject. What is English? English, unfortunately, English is compulsory. You must pass English for them to know that you are educated. So our measurement of education in Africa is if you speak English very well. That is the measure that you are educated in. You understand?
Yes.
Yet in China, they don't know English.
In Russia,
They don't know English.
Yes.
But they are the manufacturers,
Yes.
which means you understand. Yeah. Now that's a problem. We have a problem of food security. We cannot solve that. Telephone. We need to communicate. A person from Arua must communicate with somebody from Chisoro using a phone.
Yes.
But we have phones, but our universities don't manufacture these phones. You want to transfer money, you need ATM card. We cannot produce these things, we cannot manufacture these things in our universities, but we need them. We can't solve these problems. We need to manage time. We need watches. But there is no university that teaches how to manufacture. Let us not repair phone. We have repairing of phone and manufacture. We cannot manufacture these phones.
But
You cannot hear.
repair it.
You can only repair it, so we cannot solve problems. Fuel. You know, in Uganda now we have discovered that we have fuel,
Yes.
but we cannot refine this fuel. The fuel that we are using in our cars should be imported. But the fuel that is here, the crude oil, need to be taken to be refined. So we sell it out cheaply and we import expensively because our system is not, education system is not mature enough to do that. Then electricity. You need light, like this, we need light here. But can we make it? We can't make it. We shall have those dams, you can have this, but those are things we transfer, but we cannot make them. You have to buy those machines expensively from those universities that can produce them. You see that? So here, it tells us what type of education we have. You understand? Yes.
And now, Sheikh, since our education does not address the challenges that we are facing here in Africa, most especially Uganda, what should the government do, or the Minister of Education, to address or to change the system of learning in our education system?
You see, first of all, the problem comes from our type of curriculum. We are still using the colonial model of curriculum, what is called this, it is called the GBC, grade-based curriculum, which was designed, you know, the Europeans designed the two types of curriculum. There is a curriculum which is called the CBC, which is a curriculum for the first world countries, and then there's a curriculum called GBC, that is for the third world countries. Now, GBC is a grade-based curriculum, where a child bangs first grade, or second grade, or third grade. Then you say, this child is very clever. Why is he clever? He got A's in his what? And people will celebrate. He got A's. What does A mean? A means that the child they have developed the child's what? We call it memory capacity, but not reasoning capacity. You understand?
Yes.
They have developed memory capacity, which means they can remember what the teacher has taught them. What is photosynthesis? Then you say photosynthesis is the process by which the plants manufacture their own food using sunlight in the presence of chlorophyll. That is photosynthesis. That is what the teacher tells you, and that's what exactly you should produce during the time of exams. And that one is called grade what? Then you first grade, second grade, the best, he is the best in what? In doing what? You understand? Now, the Chinese, when they realized that they are in school, but they cannot produce watches, they cannot produce vehicles, they cannot produce computers, they said no. They went and benchmarked with the West. They found that the curriculum the West are using is not the one they produce for them. Then they cancelled their education. They changed the education system completely. They said no, let us begin by having competence-based curriculum where children should be geared towards problem solving. Children should be engaged so that they can be able to think critically
and have the skills.
They should begin to develop skills. And children begin to develop skills at the young age. What the Chinese children are doing in kindergarten is what our children do after 25 years of age. You see that?
Yes.
Here, our children in kindergarten, it is about dancing. We are dancing in the name of the Lord. We are tasting in the name of the Lord. That is what we think we are teaching children. And we teach them English language. The English is not the issue. The issue is skills. Can you make a bicycle? Can a child repair electricity? Can you generate? You see? So, in Africa, education starts from class and ends up in looking for jobs. A child has his papers, he has a degree, now he's looking for jobs. But for them, it begins in class and ends in industry. It begins in class, it ends in production. It begins in class, it ends up in manufacture. That is where education should go. You understand? Yes.
Now, Chef, in Africa or elsewhere, where does education begin from and where does it end?
Of course.
Does it begin from early childhood education?
Yes, it begins there.
Or it begins at home?
Education begins at home, in hands of uneducated people.
But
Your mother is not, your parents are not educated, but you are supposed to be educated in their hands.
Yes.
You understand? You are unguided and you want to guide the child. What are you guiding the child with? We have problem of parental care. That is where the problem begins, parental care. Number two, the child goes to school and learns in the hands of teachers who are also competent, who are not competent enough. For them, they also have passed through those grade-based, first grade students. They are the ones. You go in the hands of incompetent people until you finish your university in the hands of incompetent. You are incompetent, you are university lecturers. Incompetent, everybody is incompetent. You understand? That's why Africa, being a rich country, but the Africans, who are the people, are poor. Poor means P-O-O-R, passing over opportunities repeatedly, because you don't see those opportunities because of lack of education. It is the white man to come and see opportunities in Africa. They're the ones to come and see what is what type of minerals you have in your country. They're the ones who have to extract these minerals. They're the ones to take and sell it back to you. So we are consumers. We consume what we don't produce, and we produce what we don't consume. That is the problem we have with our education system.
Thank you so much, Sheikh. To add on that, what's the difference between African education and the Western education?
As I told you, African education is teaching the children memory. They have to memorize what they are taught. While in Europeans, they are not, it's not about memory, it's about problem solving, critical thinking. You understand? They chase what is called vision of the child. The child's vision is being elaborated. They chase that vision until the child gets the vision. Here it is a division. In Africa it is a division. It's not about a vision.
It's about division.
It's about a division.
What do you mean by division?
Division. Children here are taught that this is us. We are this is us. This is our tribe. That one does not belong to our tribe. They grow with this kind of behavior of division. This is Uganda. The other one is Kenya. We are not the same. This is white. The other one. This man is a Muchotara. This is a black man. We are not the same. People grow in divisions. You understand? Petitioning us. People are not. They don't think together. They don't come together to think. They don't pursue what is required, and that's why you find the Africans are divided. At the continent level, we are divided. At the country level, we are still divided. Districts are divided. People come even up to clan, they are divided. You understand?
Yes.
Yes. So that is the difference.
Yes. Now, Sheikh,
They are those ones are taught to think hard. These ones are taught to work hard. So you work hard without thinking hard, then there's nothing you can do.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, Sheikh. As we are coming to our conclusion, Sheikh, you said poor means?
Poor is passing over opportunities repeatedly. You understand? Because maybe I'm walking here, there is gold under the what?
Under the soil.
Under the soil. I have no eyes to see, so I pass over it.
To who?
I just pass over the like passing over the water.
Yes.
And so now in Uganda, you can find that we now, alhamdulillah, we have introduced the CBC curriculum, competence-based now. But there are so many things we need to do before even this is done. Because one, who are the teachers teaching this CBC? Because now we have brought it first of all in the middle, that senior fours are doing it, yet at the basement, at the foundation, which is supposed to be the primary and say a nursery, it's not there. That is a mistake. We should have started it. We should have piloted it with the foundation from primary. That's number one. Now,
Or from nursery?
even from nursery, we could have started from nursery. This is number one. Number two, the teachers. Right now, the teachers who are teaching CBC are not themselves oriented along that line. They are the teachers of grade-based curriculum. A teacher of grade-based curriculum cannot teach competence-based curriculum. I would think what we would do is to take some teachers or import, bring for us the Chinese teachers or any other from outside to come and train our students, our teachers here on how to teach children, not teaching them how to dance your own way of dancing, then you think you are teaching children. Children should be playing in a way of doing their work. That's what we are talking about. Competent based. It should start from.
They even go to the football field to go and play football. They go to the theaters to play.
Now, if you go with the play, you cannot manage, because we are not talking about playing. We are talking about problem solving. I told you about the problems we have. We are talking about the problems like I told you about medical facilities. I talk about agriculture. I'm talking about communication, telephones. We are talking about clothes, fashion and designing. You understand? We are talking about repairs of watches. We are talking about electricity. We are trying to train them how to solve this problem in our community. You understand? Agriculture is a backbone of our economy. Why is agriculture up to now in Uganda treated as an optional subject when it's supposed to be treated as a compulsory subject? You understand? Why do we attach a lot of importance in English language when we could have used Kiswahili or our local languages here to teach our children? You understand? So those are the things that if we can change them, then it makes sense. You understand? Why should a child go to laboratory at the stage of senior 4 when actually at the primary they need to know, they need to understand these things? You know, there is a time for cognitive development. When the child reaches a certain time, it reaches a saturation point where the brain now thinks of other things. But at the time when the child's brain is still brand new at the foundation stage, is the time we need to engage them in terms of practice. It's the time we need to think about how to develop their cognitive domain. You understand? Yes, thank you.
Sheikh, as we have come into our conclusion, Sheikh, many people are asking, what's the difference between theology education and our secular education here in Uganda or elsewhere? Yes. Can we have a brief discussion as we are concluding?
Actually, for theology, when you say theology, we are talking about spiritual matters. We're talking about the religious matters, which involves the morals. You see, it involves the religious education and then the morals of those who subscribe to that religion. That's what Islam. But for Islam, actually, we don't only look at that. Islam is a complete way of life. Now, when you look at the secular education, it came from Islamic theology. Like, for example, the letters. Today, when you look at the numerals that Europeans are using today, if you look at the alphabets that Europeans are using today, it is from Arabs. You understand? A, B, C. This one you see here is called Arabic Arabic alphabet. Even the numerals 1, 2, 3, the 1, 2, 3 up to 9 to 10. Actually, these are Arabic numerals, which was created by Sheikh Abdul Hamid Al-Khawarizmi. He's the one who, and today he's called in the Western world, he's called what? Algorithm. So it is the algorithm that has developed that idea of what you see a computer today. You understand? So we are thinking about going back to that system. How did these people, like Ibn Sina, Al-Khawarizmi, and many other philosophers, how did they get to that knowledge? What curriculum were they using? This is where we also want to go to. And also changing the behavior of the Muslims, because Islam is a religion of peace. And the peace must be in the people. They should be peaceful. Islam is peaceful. But you find a person who is a Muslim, is not in peace, until when he dies, that's when we say, may his soul rest in peace. In fact, the person himself should be resting in peace before the soul. You see?
Yes.
Why should your soul rest in peace?
When you have not been in peace.
When you have not been in peace when you are alive. I think that is something that our university should be thinking about. Now, I was telling you as we were concluding, I was talking about passing over opportunities repeatedly. That's when you are. For example, look at Matoke. Matoke in Uganda is used, you cut it and it's used for eating. You eat that matoke and that's all. And then that stalk is cut down and that's it, that's all. But in Argentina, you'll be surprised. The matoke is used as a food, but the stalk, they have an idea of producing thread, fiber out of that. And you can see lorries and lorries of this fiber. It goes to make now what? Clothes, is for making other materials like sacks, for making bags. Do you see that? Why do they make that? Because they can see something beyond what? That is what education means. You think and you can even produce out of those things, you can come up with other material, and it's money. Here it is not money, because all we know is the food. Once you have eaten the food, the rest of the things you cannot think. So passing over opportunities repeatedly, poor. You understand?
Thank you so much, Sheikh. He's the Minister of Education, Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. I'm Administrative Secretary, Mr. Ashraf Kuba. Thank you for watching us. Until next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.